Hey everyone, welcome back to another CompTIA ITF Plus lab. And in this lab, we'll be basically managing user accounts. We'll practice using some of the account features of Windows 10. And if we complete this activity, we'll be basically referencing to the 6.4 and 6.5 of the ITF Plus objectives, which is compare and contrast authentication, authorization, accounting, and non-repudiation concepts, and 6.5, which is explain password best practices. So let's just sign in to our virtual machine. Finally. All right, so let's just click start and then click the settings icon. So we click start and it should open up the settings icon. And let's go to accounts. Where is accounts? So this is accounts. Your accounts, email, sync, work, family. We click this icon. And in the left hand pane, we'll click the sign in options. And under pin, we can click. So this is the pin. Create a pin to use in place of passwords. You will be asked for this pin when you sign into Windows apps and services. So let's just create a pin. We click add and we'll be prompted with to input our password, which is the admin password. So I'm going to put, this is going to be the same password which I logged in from. Sorry about that. So I'm kind of doing this live, so I'm not gonna cut off anything here because I want to make this hands-on. All right, so now it says create a new pin in place of passwords. All right, so let's just set up a pin in the new pin and confirm pin boxes. Let's just put an arbitrary number. Let's say 1999. Let's see if I put that right. Yep. And then again the same thing. Hope nobody's watching this except you guys. All right, so this pin is very easy to guess. When you're configuring your own computers, use a less obvious pin and ideally make it at least 6 characters rather than 4. All right, just for the purpose of this lab, just to make it easy, we just remember this password and we're gonna click OK. So now you can see that there is a password set. You can use this pin to sign into Windows, apps, and services. Let's just close this. Now let's right click start button and select shutdown or sign out. So there's this shutdown or sign out and we are just gonna sign out. So while we're waiting for sign out, basically it's instead of the password, we can use this PIN number to sign in. It's much more convenient, but if it's a very easy password, it could be a problem. So just for the purpose of this, we're going to say, okay, 1999. And you see, I didn't even press enter and it just logged me in. Now let's add a new user account. All right, so now we have set the pin. We can now let's just add a new user account. We'll open these settings again and go to account. All right. So in the left hand pane, we'll click family and other people. So we will just create a local account rather than configuring an online Microsoft account. So we'll click add someone else to this PC. All right. It's gonna open up a new window. So in this window which says how will this person sign in, we will say we don't have Microsoft or sign in information for that person. So let's click this, and then it says let's create your account. So we're going to select add a user without a Microsoft account. So this is going to be a local account. So on the create an account for this PC page, in the username box, we need to type, let's just call this person David. Hi, David. And in the password, we just put in some password. Maybe let's just say PA dollars password. You can just put in this. Make up any password you want, which you can remember and which is not easy to crack. All right. And then for the security question, we can just select any of the questions and just press and just enter password each time. I mean, we are just doing this to make the lab simpler. In a real scenario, get the user to input the responses properly, please. So just to, what's your password's name? Password. Let's copy this. Can I copy this? Yep, I can. That's good. All right. So we'll click next. So you see this is a local account now, David. So on the family and other people page, click David and then click change account type. Notice that the user is a standard user. All right. He's a standard user right now. So you need to remember that a standard user is able to launch apps and install apps from the Windows Store, but is not able to change the system settings or install desktop applications. It is always safer to sign in with a standard user account for day-to-day computer use than it is to sign in with administrator privileges. So if you're not gonna uh, have a lot of administration responsibilities, and although you are an administrator, it is a best practice to have another account for yourself as well, so that there's no Trojan activities which can affect your account or system. So let's just click cancel. Let's just go to start and then click the head and shoulders icon. There's a guy with the head and shoulders. Where is this guy? Yep. And this represents the admin account. We'll click this. So it shows that there's David as well. So let's just click David. So now you can see we are gonna log into David's account. So let's just put his password. I hope you remember that. And I hope it works. Yep, it does. Let's just wait while the accounts profile is built. So this is the normal practice. The Windows operating system, it sets up the system for the first time use, and shouldn't take a long time if your computer is fast. Yep. So David has a slightly different screen, but since it's a virtual machine, just change these settings. Okay. So let's just click on settings and then accounts. Let's just go to accounts. And you see this is David. Note that there's no option for family and other accounts. Only administrative users can configure accounts. So David cannot do anything since he's just a standard user. So he can just modify his own settings. So now let's click the sign in options tab. You can configure an account password from here or use a different means of authenticating. So you can change your password, you can add a PIN and stuff like that. So let's just open Microsoft Edge now and view a few websites, then open some apps or desktop programs. Let's just close this. All right. Let's see what it opens. Okay, so for example, Microsoft. If you remember my previous lab, we had seen that we had different settings for the browser. So the account settings are different from those of admin. The default homepage for the Edge browser is not the same, for instance, right? So you'll have a different kind of setting for each user. These are going to be the standard user settings and which can be modified later on, obviously, by the user if he has been given the privileges by the administrator. If he's a standard user, yes, he can. So let's just sign out again. Let's close all tabs. Let's go back to um, let's right click the start button and select shut down or sign out, and let's just say sign out. We'll sign out of David's account now. So we'll click the admin and we'll again put in the PIN number. So let's just go to accounts again. You know how to go to accounts, right? You click the start button, you go to settings, and then you go to accounts. So by doing these labs, you'll be able to repeat tasks and it will help you remember better where to find what stuff, right? So that's the whole purpose of doing labs, to retain what theory or conceptual information you had obtained from those books or video courses or stuff like that. So it's always good to follow along. All right, so in the left hand pane we'll click sign in options again, and in under the pin section we will remove uh, the pin, right? And we're gonna say, are you sure you're gonna or you want to remove this pin? We will say yes, we are. And then we need to input our original password, not the pin number, obviously. So this is the password which you use to log in normally. So this has precedence over the pin. We say okay. One. Yep. So your pin has been removed. So let's just go to family and other people now, and we'll click the account, uh, David's account, and then click remove. And sorry, I don't know, I have a bad throat today. So it says delete account and data. So deleting this person's account will remove all their data from this PC, including items on their desktop, downloads, documents, photos, music, and other files. If this data hasn't been backed up or saved to another location, such as another PC, it will be lost. So you need to make sure. So when configuring a computer, it is important to take your time and read the warnings displayed on notifications and dialogues. So if you are just administrating a local account, a local machine, this is how you add accounts, how you change pins, how you remove passwords or pins, and how you remove users. So this is not related to the Windows Server administration. That is totally different, and that's what we are gonna do later on. But for a start, this is what you need to understand for the CompTIA ITF Plus. So once you've read this, then you just click delete account and data. If you have backed everything up and if you're sure about it, then you click this because you won't be able to recover this. So we delete his account and all his data. So it's like we never had a user, David, right? So this was today's lab. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you followed along and learned something new. I completely understand this is really basic and we've been doing this all our lives, but we haven't been following a lab, right? We are not following steps which are used in training institutes. So if you follow along these labs, it's like you're actually training in an institute because this is what they're going to teach you over there, and they're going to charge you like $2,000 $3,000. And the same thing if you're sitting at home and following along and you're being able to do this, I think you guys are in luck. So yeah, I'll be continuing these labs for free. Don't worry about that, because my aim is to learn myself and teach you guys. There's always a thing or two I learn myself as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and please don't forget to subscribe and like this video because we'll be doing a lot of other labs in the coming weeks, and I'll try to finish. I have like 20 labs, 18 to 20 labs in ITF. Plus, once we go through those, then we're going to start with the A plus labs. All right, thank you for sticking around and see you until next time. Peace.